that storm, the world will have no choice but to take notice. You walk in, head down, shoulders slumped, like a stray dog scrounging for scraps of dignity. They see it, smell it, like sharks scenting blood. Every time you doubt yourself, every hesitation, every word that cuts through your confidence, they notice and they thrive on it. But that ends now. You have two choices. Let them define you or define yourself. They've been writing your story in the margins, tearing you down, and you've handed them the pen. But why? People are predators. They respect power, not kindness or love, but power. And power isn't about noise or force. It's about presence, silent, undeniable. When you walk into a room, they should feel it in their gut, a presence that forces their insecurities to the surface. That's real power. If you want respect, stop seeking approval. Become what they can't ignore. People fear the dark because it doesn't explain itself. It simply is. Be like the dark, silent, unyielding. Let them see the void that mirrors the emptiness they run from. That's how you make them fear you. You're afraid of losing people who don't value you. Fear is their leash, but it cuts both ways. Use it. Make them afraid of losing you. Your absence is more powerful than their presence. People only value what's gone. Let that be your leverage. Picture a lion in a cage. It's been poked, mocked. One day the lion doesn't roar. It just stares. Silence is unnerving, unpredictable. You've been roaring, trying to prove yourself. Stop. Let them underestimate you, then break the cage, not with noise, but with presence. You've been justifying your worth. Stop. Does a storm apologize for its destruction? Number. Be the storm, the fire. Let them tremble, not because you're cruel, but because you're inevitable. A force of nature demands respect. They've handed you the tools to build something unshakable. Every insult, every betrayal is fuel. The most dangerous people are the ones who've been broken and rebuilt themselves. Pain teaches. Every scar is a lesson. You survived what was meant to destroy you. Wear those scars as armor, not chains. Keep your tears locked away. Let silence speak. They'll fear the storm inside you, even if they never see it erupt. Stop explaining. Stop apologizing. Stop waiting. Become the person who doesn't need to speak to be heard, doesn't need to fight to win. Let your presence be your voice. Walk into a room and let them feel it. The world respects the unbreakable, not the meek. Be the storm. Let them fear you, not for what you say, but for what you are. You've been living like you owe the world something. You don't. The world doesn't care about you. It never did. Accept that and stop wasting energy pleasing people who wouldn't blink if you disappeared. They're not gods. They're flawed, scared people. Be free from their shadows. Stop giving them power over your life. They fear people who don't need them, who don't seek their approval. Be that person. Let go of the notion that you're not enough. Look at those who tore you down. Are they happy? Number. They're broken, insecure. Your existence reminds them of everything they're not. Stop letting their words matter. They're not giants, they're ants. Stop reacting. Stop giving them power. Imagine a wolf. It doesn't care about the opinions of rabbits. It exists, unapologetic. Everything respects it, not for kindness, but for power. You've been living like a rabbit, running from shadows. But you're a wolf. Start acting like one. Power comes from within, from knowing who you are and refusing to let anyone take that from you. When you stop caring about what they think, you become untouchable, invincible, terrifying. Walk into a room like you own it, not because you need to be noticed, but because you don't care if you are. Let your silence, your confidence, your presence be your weapon. Be the storm that doesn't need to explain itself. The world doesn't need another follower. It needs a leader. Leaders don't ask for permission. They take what's theirs. This isn't about feeling good for 5 minutes. It's about changing you, breaking you down, and rebuilding you into someone who dominates the world. Weakness is a mindset, a disease. Don't let it infect you. Rise above it. It's painful, lonely, brutal, but it's the only way to become who you're meant to be. Be a crucible. Let the pain and rejection strip away your fears, leaving something unbreakable. They'll call you cold, heartless, but you'll have become the version of yourself they feared. Every great figure went through hell before they rose. They didn't get there by playing nice. They clawed their way to the top, enduring ridicule and betrayal. They stood unapologetic because they earned it. You have that fire. Are you willing to endure the pain to become who you're meant to be? Or will you stay hidden, letting life pass you by? Those who hurt you have moved on, oblivious to your scars. Stop letting it define you. Take that pain and turn it into something they can't ignore. Let your silence, your success, be your revenge. Show them what they lost. Let your growth haunt them. You have a storm inside you. Stop fighting it. Embrace the chaos. Let it become your greatest weapon. When you unleash that storm, the world will have no choice but to notice. No soul will remain untouched by your power. Understand this. The strongest aren't the ones who never fall, but the ones who rise after being shattered. They fear you, not for what you say, but for what you've survived. The fire in your eyes, the unbreakable spirit, they know they can't defeat you. Walk tall, guard your heart. Let your silence be a force they can't ignore. When they see you, let them face their worst fear, a person who doesn't need them, who isn't afraid, who doesn't care. That's real power, and it's yours. You think fear is something to run from? You've been taught it's your enemy, but the truth is, fear is your ally. Not the fear they put in you, but the fear you stir in them. When they're scared of you, they lose control. Fear weakens them, exposes their cracks. When you become their worst nightmare, you own them. Fear isn't about shouting or violence. It's about presence. It's about walking into a room and owning it without saying a word. Make them question every move they make. Be the shadow over their lives. That's when you've truly won. No soul will remain untouched by your power. Understand this. The strongest aren't the ones who never fall, but the ones who rise after being shattered. They fear you, not for what you say, but for what you've survived. The fire in your eyes, the unbreakable spirit, they know they can't defeat you. Walk tall, guard your heart. Let your silence be a force they can't ignore. When they see you, let them face their worst fear, a person who doesn't need them, who isn't afraid, who doesn't care. That's real power, and it's yours. You think fear is something to run from? You've been taught it's your enemy. But the truth is, fear is your ally. Not the fear they put in you, but the fear you stir in them. When they're scared of you, they lose control. Fear weakens them, exposes their cracks. When you become their worst nightmare, you own them. Fear isn't about shouting or violence. It's about presence. It's about walking into a room and owning it without saying a word. Make them question every move they make. Be the shadow over their lives. That's when you've truly won. They laugh at you because they're scared. Scared of what you might become, of what you represent. They fear you'll realize you don't need them. The moment you do, you become untouchable. People hate what they can't control. They've built their lives on lies, and you're the truth they can't face. That's why they try to tear you down. It's not because you're wrong, but because they are. Let them laugh. Let them mock. When you rise, let them choke on their words. Look around. The world is full of people desperate for attention. They flaunt fake lives, show off their wealth, speak loudly to be seen. But the truly powerful, they don't need words. Their actions speak for them. Think of a tiger in the wild. It doesn't announce its presence with a roar. It commands respect through its silence. That's what you must become. Silent, calculated, unshakable. Stop being the prey. Be the predator. Not for fun, but because it's who you are. Predators focus on what matters. Do the same. Stop wasting time on those who don't deserve you. Build yourself and they'll come to you, not because you need them, but because they'll have no choice. They'll hate you for it, for becoming what they never could, for standing while they crawl, for turning pain into power while they wallow in theirs. That's the price of greatness. They'll call you cold, ruthless, heartless. And maybe you will be. Maybe you'll lose a part of yourself along the way. But what you gain will be worth it. When you walk into a room and they can't meet your eyes, when they fear what you've become, your silence will speak louder than their words. That's when you'll know you've won. Life is a battlefield. Every interaction is a war. You can't enter without a strategy, without armor, without weapons. Your strategy is focus. Stop wasting energy on what doesn't matter. Your armor is your silence. Don't show your pain, your doubts. They'll use it against you. Your weapon, your presence. Stand tall no matter what they throw at you. Master these and you'll be unstoppable. Not because you're the loudest, but because you're relentless. They'll fear you without a word, not because you declared your worth, but because you built it in silence. When they see the storm you've become, they'll realize they were wrong. They underestimated you. They can't touch you. Walk into the world like you own it. Not to seek their fear, but because you deserve their respect. The most dangerous person in the room doesn't need to speak to be heard. Be that person. Be the storm. Be the silence. Let them fear you. You think this is the end? It's just the beginning. True transformation happens in silence, in the depths of your mind, when you're alone with your thoughts. That's where the real battle is, and you're losing it every time you let doubt win. Every time you let the past haunt a future you haven't built. For what? The comfort of staying the same? Enough? No one's coming to save you. Not your friends, not your family. If you want salvation, you'll have to save yourself. It's going to hurt. Growth is brutal. It's ugly. It's stripping away what you thought you were to become what you could be. Every failure, every betrayal, every rock bottom wasn't the world breaking you. It was a chance to rebuild stronger. But you cling to broken pieces, afraid to let go. Why? Why fear destroying what no longer serves you? Why not burn away the weak parts so something stronger can rise? You fear the pain, the loneliness, the unknown. But the fire isn't your enemy. It's your salvation. It's what will make you unforgettable. Ever see a sword being forged? It's thrown into fire, hammered, bent, twisted. It screams with every strike. But in the end, it becomes a weapon, sharp, deadly, unbreakable. That's what you must become. The fire isn't there to destroy you. It's there to forge you. The hammer isn't there to break you. It's there to shape you. Stop fighting it. Embrace the pain, the struggle, the work. Let it mold you into something they can't ignore. They mock you because they see your potential and it terrifies them. You're a mirror showing them what they'll never be. Instead of facing their flaws, they'd rather pull you down. But they can only drag you down if you let them. Take back your power. Show them what happens when someone refuses to stay down. Look at the strongest people in the world, the leaders, the legends. They didn't get there by being liked or playing it safe. They got there because they were willing to be hated, misunderstood, alone. You're desperate to be accepted, to fit in. But the circle you're trying to join is small, petty, suffocating. It's full of people too afraid to dream, to grow, to be more than average. Why would you want to be part of that? Why lower yourself when you could rise above? The world needs people who stand out, who disrupt, who challenge. People like you. but only if you let go of the need to be liked and embrace the need to be respected. Respect doesn't come from being nice or agreeable. It comes from power. And power doesn't come from what you say. It comes from what you do. So stop talking. Start building. Start becoming. When they see you rise, see the fire in your eyes, the storm in your soul, they'll have no choice but to respect you, even if they hate you for it, because fear and respect are two sides of the same coin. Play your cards right and you'll have both. Now go. Leave behind your excuses, your old self. Don't come back until you've become the person they fear to their core, because that's the only way to win.